You want to make an opening statement, or you just want to go with the questions?
I'll just say this. What a battle. I feel like it was pretty awesome that both teams played really well, especially in certain moments on the ESPN match and first time or the fourth time ever to be on the network. So it was just awesome. We go back to watch things like that delivered. So a lot of texts I've already gotten from just volleyball fans and other coaches around the country are just like, wow, that was awesome, great match, and what a battle. So it was fun. We're lucky to come out on top of that. Made it a little bit sweeter for us, but overall, I would have thought the same thing, win or lose. It was a heck of a match.
Questions?
Coach, just got to talk about the atmosphere here today. It was pretty electric in here. How did it affect you all at all?
Well, I thought we were really good, except when Anna DeBeer missed her serve in game 4. She said she was shaking. That was probably the loudest the crowd had gotten, and it worked. So it's always good to experience that type of atmosphere, especially early in the season. And we know we're going to face other crowds like that on the road, and so it's great to overcome that overall. And next time in that moment, we will be even more successful.
Just for Anna and Claire, is there any way to prepare the freshmen for something like this with you recommend?
Sorry, we're just back in.
Is there any way to prepare a freshman for like a game like this? Right? Yeah. I would say, we're pretty competitive in practice, so that's where we can prepare them and make them better. But as far as the crowds, tonight was really loud, and I don't think we've seen a crowd like that this year, so you just gotta step up to the plate when you can't hear each other and just go after it.
Coach, what do you think your team's learned so far this season, coming to a hostile environment, pick up a win since the loss earlier on?
I think we learned we have to be aggressive. So we are a very aggressive team, and early on in the year we showed flashes where we weren't playing aggressive and just kind of taking it for granted our physicality, and it showed. And so tonight we stayed aggressive, especially at big moments, and I think that'll carry us, and we'll be more confident in the future.
Coach, what are some of the things you take out of this as you prepare for Stanford? Some of the things you work on, some of the things that look pretty good to you.
Well, I think preparing for Stanford, we haven't watched any film on them yet. We've been only focused on Kentucky, obviously, so I think we'll have a different game plan. But we said in the locker room, one thing we can take from this match is I thought with certain players, parts of their games weren't going well, they stepped up in other parts instead of letting it snowball into just having a bad match altogether. So I thought, like Aiko, she didn't block as many balls as we'd like, but she had huge service runs in big moments. That's just one example. But I think preparing for Stanford, they're coming off a huge road win. We're coming off a huge road win, so it's going to be a battle. I thought both Kentucky and Stanford are underrated and very, very, very good teams. So we have a little road experience. This will be their second match at home. So they haven't had a lot of opportunities to play at home yet. Sometimes that adds a little pressure.
And for either one of you, Anna or Claire, you guys dropped that fourth set, you were 1 point away from match point. What's the kind of control? You guys think you lost control? You guys think you let them back into the game? The crowd's back into the game? What was going through your guys' minds in the huddle, kind of when you guys were talking in between sets?
I think in matches and environments like this, it can really go either way, and the momentum can shift so quickly. So I think we were just getting back down to the basics and just taking it 1 point at a time. And it didn't end the way we wanted, and we easily could have, or not easily, but we should have finished it when we could. But going into that fifth set, both teams have had an awesome match so far. We really just had to keep pushing. Everyone's exhausted. Everyone's just like going at it. You don't know which way it's going to fall. So I think we did a really good job of just coming out strong at the very beginning of that fifth set and just carrying it through to finish out.
Now having wins this season over Northern Kentucky, and Western Kentucky as well, does that mean anything to any of you or any significance to what your program has accomplished?
I'll let the Kentucky native speak to that.
This is like something you dream of when you're younger. Rivalry matches like this, it is so cool, and you only get them like once a year, and unless you see the team in the tournament, which probably won't happen. So just to be in an environment like this and really live in the moment, I just think about it. I'm like, you're not going to get opportunities like this. So it was just really cool and special, and I'll remember it.
And we've talked about the importance of this being on this stage on ESPN, right? What did it mean to you all to play on ESPN for only the 4th time in 25 years.
I mean, it is crazy. When I realized that it was on ESPN, I was like, wow, like they're finally giving volleyball the credit that I think we have worked for and deserved, and just to have this opportunity. I mean, for Kentucky versus Louisville, it couldn't get much better than that. So it was really cool.
Coach, you mentioned, getting a lot of texts from volleyball people, congratulating on what a great match and exposure, but what do you think a match like this can do for people who maybe aren't, diehard volleyball fans who just are watching it for the first or second time tonight?
Yeah, well, I hope, I was hoping there'd be a great crowd here tonight. I figured there would be, and I think that matters on TV, and so they can see the momentum in the gym and how fun it would be to be there live. But then on top of that, just seeing how athletic these women are and how hard they work and how important each point is in volleyball. There's really not a sport like that. So I think it can be hypnotizing as a fan if you start watching and really are paying attention, because momentum shifts so fast, and like I said, every single point is a big point.
For Anna and Claire, you could have said 3-hour-long match, a lot of stuff taking the mental physical toll through a length like that. Just kind of talk about what you do to power through and keep fighting through that.
Personally, I love looking at my teammates in the eye, and we talk about that a lot, and Danny says that before every match, that when you get in a tough position, just look each other in the eye and trust each other. And I also remind myself to take deep breaths. So every time before I pass, I've been starting to take deep breaths so I can mentally prepare myself and be ready for the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think we are prepared pretty well. I mean, we haven't really had any 5th set matches this year, so just through strength and conditioning and how we've worked to get to this point, we know that we have more in us, even though sometimes it may not feel like it. So it's just that mental factor. You just got to push through, and everyone's tired. So it's who steps up in that moment, and that's just kind of what I go by.
I think we have a tremendous amount of trust in our staff, and that goes from players, coaches, managers, strength coach. And so I even said it right before Game 5, thank God we have Sean, our strength coach, because I felt like we were prepared for that moment physically. I don't know if we weren't going to lose that game because we were more tired than Kentucky, or not ready for that moment physically.
Anything else? All right, ladies, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.